This evening, we're in for a treat. Martin is the master of ceremony tonight. I think I don't need to introduce Martin. I think most of you have probably been either on his courses or his trips. He's been teaching underwater photography for quite a number of years. He's just published his 250th monthly column.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years of columns for Sport Diver magazine. Tonight, is going to fix all our faults. He's going to help us take fantastic photos. And basically, he's going to touch on loads of different faults and mistakes we make and how to fix them with hopefully lots of tricks to improve our photography. Please welcome Martin.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Lovely to be here. I've done this first slot in the evening a few times in the past, and usually most people are up in the bar, so it's nice to see a full house at this stage in the evening. I'm going to be talking about faults, fixes, tips and tricks, just in case, at any time in the future, you make any mistakes. That's all. I know, I mean, BSoUP, there's some very good photographers at BSoUP, and you're all good photographers in this room, and probably just occasionally you might just make a few little mistakes. I'm sure you don't, but you just might occasionally just trip up here and there. And so what I've done is I've put together, I sat down and I've just been putting together the things that I kind of see going on, the faults, some of the fixes, and a few little tips, a few little tricks. I have got so much stuff that I'm not going to try and get to the end of them tonight. I'm going to try and finish on time for the first half and finish on time for the second half, because I know you've got trains to catch and things like that. I don't expect to get through them all. Now listen, these tips, tricks, faults and fixes, they're my version of things. And I'm sure that many of you will think, well, yes, I do that, but I fix that a different way. You might not agree with some of the ways I do it, and that is fine. It doesn't make me right and you're wrong. So no problem on that front. I'm not trying to change your minds. If you have got your ways of doing things, that's fine. This is, I suppose, my way of doing things, and I'm not trying to suggest one iota that my way's better than your way. Okay, so I really mean that. Okay, let's kick off. They're in no particular order. Some of them I haven't got even slides for, so I'll just talk them. Some of them are really quick. But there's a lot of you, no, not in this room, of course there's none, but there's a lot of underwater photographers who don't know the kit and don't know the cameras. And occasionally people will come down and do a course with me and they're not quite sure how things work, things that they need to know just how they work. It's quite essential that with things like apertures, shutter speeds and film ISO and stuff like that, that you've got a good grasp of the basics. Now, how do you get a good grasp of the basics of your individual cameras? So first of all, just round of hands. Who's SLRs? Hands up for SLRs. Hands up for compacts. Okay. Slightly in favour of SLRs, but a few compacts as well. Okay. YouTube. Put your camera into YouTube, and I have tried it with so many different cameras. I did it last week. I just got all random compacts, all random SLRs, and there is stuff in YouTube about how your camera works. I know it's a bit of a pain to read the instructions and the booklets, and I know they can be hard to read. There's just so much stuff on YouTube, and it's, you know, it's videoed, and it's nice to listen to while you're watching the telly, headphones in, listen to this kind of stuff, doing two things at once. Know your camera, YouTube. What's next? Background. I've got strict instructions from Joe Horrocks, who's videoing this, that I shouldn't walk about. he's got no chance, sorry. Okay, backgrounds. Right at the beginning, I have got you know, my big thing about underwater photography is backgrounds. I don't think underwater photography and the excellence of underwater photography is driven by subject matter, and I might come on to that later. If you have got a decent background, my view is that anything can work underwater. Any subject of your choosing, in fact not even a subject, just a little bit of sand, just a sand reflection, a horizon shot. I believe that backgrounds are the key to underwater photography. I used to say it was getting close. I think those two vie for position, but at the top of my list for underwater excellence, pictures that really pop, it's backgrounds. And you've got to consider your backgrounds. Now, it doesn't matter what subject you have got in the foreground, such as the red fish here. If your background doesn't stand up, you may get away with things with your mum and dad and your friends and family and non-divers who will say, wow, that's great, that's really lovely, when you really know, well, it's actually not that kind of good. Your background will bring anything down. You've got to have decent backgrounds. Take the shot by all means against a snotty background, take it, get the picture in the can, have a recording shot of it, but the background is going to make your picture. And when we get on to the competitions tonight, you will see you'll see the pictures, you'll see the winners. While you're looking at them, have a look at the backgrounds they're against. Just have a look at them. So, I'm at eye level with it, so it's a good angle. I've got a very distracting background. Couldn't do anything about it, that's where it was. I'm taking it, yeah, it's fine, but it's never going to work. Get it against blue water, and you've got a shot. And that water background you can do so much with. You can do a blue background. You can underexpose it, do dark blue. Underexpose it a bit more midnight blue. You can do black. You can do light blue. And you don't have to get the exposure right, you know. With these blue waters, we can go down to, okay, not that we do, but let's say we went down to 40 metres. We've got a really good viz, but dark blue. I mean, it's dark down there. It's a dark blue. By overexposing that blue, by one stop, you lighten it up, looks as though it's taken in 10 metres. On land, you can't get away with that, because on land, if it's a stop under, a stop over, then it's wrong. Oh, that's dark, that's too bright. It's not the case underwater. Think about this. It's just the colour of blue. Underexposure makes a nice blue background a little bit darker. That's all. There's no right and wrong with exposures with blue waters underwater. You choose your blue to suit yourself. I mean, those, you know, buggers, they're always against the rocks like that, aren't they? But I know I'm going away next week. We're doing the Red Sea, and we're going to go to a place in the south called Umaruk, and I'm going to set my blue up by putting the sun at my back, and I'm going to pick the nicest colour of water to my eye, and I'm going to let whatever wants to come into my frame come in. So I'm not after a butterfly fish, I'm after anything that's there. So whatever comes in, knowing that I've got a chance of keeping that picture because the background's decent. Okay, the other thing about underwater photography, and who's just another show of hands, who at some time has either done a day with me or been on a trip? Oh, okay, nice one, nice to see you all again. And thanks for coming. Anthony Ollie, we've got to get you down on a course sometime.
Thank you. I'm the only one, am I?
Only one. Okay, yeah, shooting down. Everybody does it when they start out. If you're not aware of it, you will do it. The whole body position that we adopt underwater is downward. We start to snorkel. What do? We stick a mask on, we look down. And then somebody decides, oh, you want to try a tank. You put a tank on, you're down even more, you fin horizontally, you follow the dive guide who's pointing stuff to you, out to you, you look down. You have a compact camera, nice and easy. Then you progress to an SLR, that's a bit heavy. Everything goes down. And everybody does it who doesn't know, everybody does it, it's natural, but it's a killer. There's 5 exceptions to shooting down, 5 things that work at a downward angle. So those who are taking notes, first one's wrecks. They work shooting down. They weren't meant to be like on the sand wrecks, ships. They were meant to be sailing. They can look good from shooting down. They look good shooting up, they can look good eye level, but they work shooting down. The second thing is something where you've got eye contact. So you see all these pictures of the little blennies and you've got eye contact with them. That wins over a downward angle, eye contact. Whether it be a seal, a blenny, a diver or what have you. Third thing, where there is no visual horizon. So you've got a black background, you've got some coral, the viewer doesn't have a clue which way it was taken. They don't know whether it's taken up, down or wherever. And when we haven't got a visual horizon, we interpret the picture as seeing it as eye level, because that's how we communicate. Am I on 4 now?
Yep.
The fourth one is the way magic filters works, a seascape. Imagine you're on the top of the hill in the Lake District, you've got a slight looking down angle at all the scenery, similar to, so it's like a landscapey kind of effect, and that's why magic filters and white balancing, which I'll come on to in a bit, work so well when you've got a slightly downward angle, so a seascape, something like that. There's one more, and I'm bugging if I can remember it. I'll think of it. Okay, so here we are. This could be any one of us. Look what happens when somebody moves in a bit closer. He's against those, the butterfly fish, against the rock, very concentrating quite hard, and he's going to follow those. What happens? So he said, move away from the rock. Come on, let's just get you separated. Let's get the blue. Are they going to go into the blue? Are they buggery? They're going to go down. So he follows them going down. And what you get is a downward angle. And we just do it. We've got that housing in our hands, and it's comfortable to hold it and look down. Everything works. The neck's nice, the arms, it works to treat the buoyancy. The problem is, your pictures turn out. You shoot down. So shoot eye level and up. I got 2 in, but I couldn't control the one in the background, the one underneath, and I never got the 2 to do that again without that one. And you all expect me to show you another one where I have, and I haven't got one. Not tonight anyway. I didn't get it, got perfect 2, just what I wanted, and that, so I didn't get that one. Bloody mustard one I got it. But I didn't.